A very good evening to everyone. Welcome to Global Online. And here we are back with our UGC NTA NET preparation for paper 1. And in today's session, we are going to take the topic that is communication unit. In communication unit, we are going to do MCQ questions on recent topic that is methods and barriers of communication. And these questions are being shortlisted from the recent cycles, which we have, where the trend of the questions is bit different, though the topics are same, but the way of asking the questions are little bit in a different way. So just to give you an idea how the questions can be and what type of options do you get and how you need to prepare, this session is basically for that. Before we go ahead, an important announcement from 4th of March. Okay, we'll be starting our new sessions, new topic that is which will be live on the app, Global Online app, and how to go on the for this particular sessions, or how to study for how to avail these sessions. This all I'll help you at the end of the video. So just stay tuned till the end, practice the questions, and make sure that you are preparing yourself best for your June 2024 attempt. So here comes the first question. Which of the following makes communication ineffective? See, now we know what is effective communication, right? So the communication which makes an impact, the communication which gives, which shows an impact, or which strongly conveys the message which is needed. So, which of the following makes communication ineffective? You have to highlight the point which makes ineffective. So, they have given options such as clarity, ambiguity, brevity, sincerity. So, if you have studied features of communication, characteristics of communication, you find all this over there. So, what do you mean by clarity, which gives clear idea, right? Ambiguity, which has a dual, contrast mindset or dual mindset. Brevity, which is concise up to the point. Sincerity, it is a, it is an approach where the message is, correct and should have, is having all the details which are required. So, from the options given below, which makes the communication ineffective? So, which do you think will not help the communication to be impactful, but which will have some doubt, or which will have some dual thing in the mindset? So from the following list, the one which makes the communication ineffective is nothing but it is called as ambiguity. That is no clarity, or you can say dual mindset, which will always lead to a confusion. So such types of communication will be ineffective. It will not create an impact. It will not, try to convey the message which is needed, right? Question number 2, everyone. Which of the following is not a barrier variable in communication? So basically, the question is saying that which of them is not a barrier. So we have, communications, there are certain impact of communication. So which of them is not a barrier? Culture, is it a barrier? Is it a barrier or not a barrier? Eye contact, curiosity, climate. So we have studied barriers of communication. So can culture be a barrier? Can eye contact be a barrier? Can curiosity will be a barrier, or climate? So from the given list, which is not, which cannot lead to a destruction, or disturbance in the message? So what do you feel that from the following, which is not a barrier? So from the list given below, yes, eye contact is not a barrier. No, it's not a barrier. See, culture, obviously cultural, the culture country wise, the culture custom tradition wise changes. Curiosity, the reason to, the curiosity can be a barrier. If you create more of curiosity and anxiousness, it can become a barrier. Climate can also be a barrier, but eye contact leads to confidence. Eye contact leads to, a boost up in the energy to communicate. So that will not be considered as what? That will not be considered as a barrier. Okay, is not a barrier. Correct? Okay. Coming to question number 3, a communication scenario in which two teachers are debating about the curriculum for 21st century is an example. Instance is nothing but example of what? Is it an example of group communication, interpersonal, lateral, or it is a communication example of diagonal? So what it is an example of? So I hope everyone knows group communication is what? Organization communication or a classroom communication is group communication. Interperson, between one person to another. Lateral, it is, lateral is nothing but horizontal. Another name for lateral communication is nothing but it is called as horizontal communication, or diagonal, that is cross cultural. So sorry, it's not cross cultural again, cross sectional. So when I say communication scenario in two teachers, two teachers are debating about the curriculum. They have not specified which teachers, what, they've just said two teachers, and they are debating on the curriculum in the 21st century. So which can become a barrier? So barrier is basically, you know, it is, sorry, which can be become an example of given below as an instance. Example, so here it will two teachers. That's the reason I specified very clearly. They have not given it as a senior teacher, junior teacher. Is it a department, different department? Just two teachers. It means both of them are into same category. So such communication will be called as horizontal. And I have been always telling in every cycle for communication, these two, these two topics, like for example, lateral you take, diagonal you take, or interpersonal, one or two you get, but they always come in the form of example. They do not come in the form of direct question. So you should know what examples or what they are, concept, so that it is very easier for you to answer the question, right? Now, question number 4. In which of the following types of communication the data is pushed from a server to a client without client request? Now, see this simple, a straight away meaning of, they have just straight away given you the meaning. So you have to tell that which of them, okay, which of them is a type of communication. You can call them as a method or a type. Says that it is directly pushed from what? It is directly pushed from a server to the client without a client request. So what it is? Is it a push technology? Is it a education technology? Is it a pull technology, or is it a ancient technology? So which of them considered to be right? So let's see. Let's have a look. So it is from a server to a client. So such it is called as what? Push technology. So you can tell it as push technology or push communication, or it is pull communication. Now let's see. So when I say push communication, no, it's pushed to the recipient. It's pushed. The literal meaning of the word push. Pull, it means it is pulled by the recipient. Okay, so actually there are three types of communication: interactive, push, and pull. So when I say push communication, you try to communicate, to send the information to the stakeholders. Okay, like for example, you do it with the help of a call, you do it with the help of text, you do it with the help of an email. So you are trying to push it, right? Okay, when it is pull, you pull the information from the people. So it can be a group, it can be a stakeholders, it can be, wherever you feel that, okay, from them the communication is needed. So you try to, try to give a press release, you try to give a blog post, you try to give, lessons learned database. So you are trying to pull, means with this you are trying to get the communication inputs. And interactive, it is, you're like multi-directional. So where it is, can be in the form of face-to-face interaction, a meeting, okay, a small get together where you try to connect a two-way communication, right? So push communication, it's something where you try to, push it to the recipient, and pull where you try to take it from the recipient, pulled by the recipient. Okay, so if you want more of examples, okay, like for push or pull communication, so we will see some more. I'll give you some more examples which will help you to identify the concept very clearly. So like for example, pull communication example I'm giving. So let us take an example. A website, informational brochure, or on the website is, it's nothing but it's like a pull communication. So you're giving the information and you're trying to pull, you're trying to promote, you're trying to do a, marketing. Whereas if I talk about the example of push communication, you try to, you try to, as I said, you try to send a letter, you try to send an email, or you try to send a report, and then you try to give the information. That is push communication, right? Even in such type of questions, no, you get examples. Now here they have given direct questions. Sorry. So yes, they said that in which type of communication the data is pushed from the server to the client. So that is nothing but push technology or a push communication. Next we have is question number 5, assertion and reason. Active participation of students in the classroom indicates teacher communication skill. Reason teacher should focus more on classroom management as a discipline than instruction. So, what do you feel? Which statement is right? Whether statement assertion is right with the explanation, or it is both are true, but the explanation is not correct, or it is one is true, one is false. So, active participation of a students, does it indicates teacher communication skills? And teachers should more focus on the classroom, that is control, rather than instruction. So when we look at both these statements, so the statement A says it is true. Participation indicates teachers' communication skills, but state the reason is false. Teachers should equally have a balance for all the aspect, whether it is a classroom management, whether it is a instruction, there should be no more or less, right? So yes, A is true, assertion is true, and R is false. Coming to question number 6. In communication, connotative words have what? Do they have the literal meaning? Do they have the cultural meaning? Do they have the common meaning? Or do they have clear meaning? So we have connotative and denotative. So what is connotative meaning and what is denotative? So if you know this concept very well, the question is very easy, but you should know what is connotative and what is denotative. So when I talk about connotative words, so yes, connotative words are something which have the cultural meaning. Okay. Now, what is denotative, which have a definition meaning? So, like for example, if I say the impact of color red, so red is defined as red in denotative. There is no meaning, but red indicates love, red indicates danger, red indicates a sign to be alert. So, a stop. So, cultural meaning comes with the connotative words, but if it is a definition meaning, it is called as denotative words, right? So be careful. Even this concept was very common, and this questions are coming out of this concept. Then you have next is in communication, a major barrier to recipient of message is what? Now see, attitude, knowledge, education, or income of the listeners. So actually, this question has been seen in year 2021 cycle. Okay, this question was seen in the year 2021 cycle, but let me tell you, in the previous cycles also, that is, in 2016, 17, 18 papers also, this question was given, but in a different way. So, like in some papers, they gave that what can be a major drawback as for the message, and they gave the option. So here they have just changed the words. They said that if you are communicating, a barrier can be what? Attitude, a knowledge or education or income. So when you look at all of them, the major barrier will be what? The major barrier will be attitude. Okay, please try to understand, because this is, knowledge can be, can never be a barrier. You can take a control of it, education also, income also. But if you don't have a right attitude as a listener, it can be a huge barrier, right? Now, question number 8, a notice about the auction of a car in a newspaper. Now, see, as I told you, again, second type of question for the types of communication. These questions are very common, the example questions. So, a notice about the auction of a car is what? A group communication, a downward communication, a interpersonal communication, or a mass communication. You have given an ad in the newspaper. So, such newspaper ad will be called as either it will be newspaper, so you are trying to get a huge mass of audiences, so obviously it will be called as what? It will be called as a mass communication, not group, obviously not downward, not interpersonal, it's not between one or two people or something. It is as a huge level, mass level, and hence it comes as what? A mass communication, right? Coming to the next one, the emergence of consumers who can control and even create media of their own, and of producers who can easily track the consumer responses, is possible by what? Television, radio, internet, telephone. Emergence of a consumer who can control and create media of their own, and of producers who can easily track them. So this can be done with the what? It can be done with television, which can be done with radio or internet or telephone. So the you see here we are interested in what? The impact. So if you see, the impact can be done with the help of what? Internet, because you need to control them. television, radio, telephone will not give you that amount of response which, which can be given by internet as per the current trend. So obviously, internet is something which you can easily track with, and it can be made possible, right? Now, yes, question number 10, assertion again and reason. Teachers should strive to avoid discussing complex issue in the classroom. Classroom communication should facilitate a movement from exploring simple to complex issue. So what teachers really, is it necessary for the teacher to make sure the complex issues are not discussed in the classroom? And if it should, or it should be explored something from simple to complex. So if you see, if you look at assertion and reason, if you look at both the questions, A is false. Teacher should not, obviously there should be no avoidance in discussing the complex issue, especially with this generation and upcoming things which are going on in the society. So it says that teachers should not avoid discussing the complex issue. Okay, if they avoid, that will be considered as false. And yes, classroom communication should always explore simple issues to complex issue. So this is how the generation, this is how the young generation will be, will know how to speak up, how to look at that particular topic, event, or how to put up their perspective, how to very clearly take the things. So that is all. It's very clearly with the help of simple to complex issues, right? So this is all. We have the latest question for the day. As I said, anyone who is interested to join Global Online, just make sure that you download the Global Online app with the help of Google Play Store, registered yourself with the registered mobile number. Go to UGC NET 2024 course. You will get it on the app. Now, if you want to access all the content of the course, you have to buy the course. Okay. Apart from that, if you have any other instances or trial things, you can get in touch with our team members whose WhatsApp numbers are given in detail. WhatsApp us. Okay. And make sure that you are studying well, and take a trial and definitely work hard for your June 2024 cycle. That's all we have for the day. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next class.